Hey everybody, Drew here for DrewDat Games here on YouTube.com, coming at you with another episode of the DrewDat Games podcast, episode number 23. Joining me via Xbox Live Party Chat, as usual, is my younger brother Desert Nord. Hey bro.
Hey there.
Just so you guys are aware why things look a little bit different here, why there's the light behind me from the window. Skyrim is in a better place. You can actually see the other TV behind me with the PS4 there. I got a new desk and it actually came today, and I spent all morning or the early part of the afternoon putting it together. So as you guys can't see it, but it's black, L-shaped. I got tons of room for all my shit and a writing area, and a place for a proper PC as well here, or a proper PC/work area or stream area, if you will. With that being said, how was your day gone, my dear brother Desert Nord?
No, I just got up shortly ago, short time ago.
Yep. So you haven't done much yet?
No, not really.
Okay. So, with that being said, on today's episode of the gaming podcast, hence the name DrewDat Games Podcast, not to be confused with Breaking Rocks, which I do want to try to do again at some point when there's something to talk about. Last week we went over E3. Yeah. This week we got some regular stuff to do finally again. For example, it's basically, at the time of recording of this, it's June 23rd, so in about a week or so we are supposed to be hearing about the July games for the Instant Game Collection, or i.e. PlayStation Plus, and Games with Gold, potentially to break any day for the July offerings. So with that said, Desert Nord and I are going to go over what we think, or not so much just what he and I think, but what we would want Sony and Microsoft to provide to the subscribers for PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live, Games with Gold, and what we feel would be logical choices given certain games that are coming out in the next few months. And also we'll be going over, we'll be talking about Madden 22, Battlefield 2042, there's some stuff to talk about there. Marvel Avengers issues, which there's, it's Marvel Avengers. Bro?
Yeah.
Also, Monster Hunter World and Soul Calibur 6 news, which is like in the next few days that this will be going into effect, a rumored state of play for July, and a confirmed EA plate for July as well. So with that being said, I forgot to ask the question. Who dat drew that, everybody? I really got to start doing that again. And just like I got to start doing at the top of the podcast, like I said, I'm not going to ask Desert Nord what he's been playing, because we all know he only plays Elder Scrolls Online at this point.
Well, it's not that I only play that, it's just that I play that majority right now.
Okay, outside of Elder Scrolls Online, what was the last thing that you played? And how long ago?
Well, I played A Way Out with you, for one.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were testing that to see if that was going to be streamable. The beginning part wasn't because of nudity, as far as I'm concerned, because Desert Nord had to stare at my ass the whole time, if you will, almost literally.
Yeah, the game is funny like that.
Yeah, but there is one part in the game that I will want to stream us playing when we finally get around to it, and that's Desert Nord and I trying to go down the rapids in that boat, which I know is a part of the storyline once we get out of prison. But with that being said, outside of A Way Out, what was the last thing before that you played that wasn't
Well, I was playing
ESO?
Astroneer before that, but Elder Scrolls does take up the majority of my game time.
I know, that's why I generally don't ask you anymore.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, in my case, I've large. If you look on the screen here, the last thing that I genuinely played is highlighted right here, and that's Madden 21. I was playing that while waiting for my new desk to show up earlier.
Yep.
But before that, I think the last thing I had booted up, I think, was Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is way over there now, which I am going to be moving that stuff closer to the work area after the show. So with that being said, games with gold, like we said, it's not supposed to be announced until like next week at some point potentially. But of the now keep in mind that none of this is confirmed. This is all wild speculation on mine and Desert Nord's part, right?
About the
About
Sony?
no about Xbox Live games with gold games for July.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because
It
that's
would be, yeah.
because that's what we're starting with. So for Xbox One, Desert Nord and I are in agreement for all of these games for Sony and Microsoft. So for games with gold, we're predicting Forza Horizon 4, Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox One, for the Xbox 360 Portal 2, and for the original Xbox, instead of another 360 game, and an original Xbox title called Psychonauts, because Psychonauts 2 comes out in July, and it's going to Xbox Game Pass. So Nord, anything to add about our predictions for Xbox Live Games with Gold for July? Bro?
I don't have anything to add to it.
Alright.
I mean, we kind of already went over what we thought might happen, so we'll see.
Well, we did that off camera though, so.
Yeah. But I mean, it's sort of like rather, you know.
But
it's kind of pointless, is what I mean.
But the reasoning for doing Forza Horizon 4 is because Forza Horizon 5 is coming out this year. Does that mean that we think it will be in July? It's a good time. It's not the best time for it. The best time would probably be like a month or two before it comes out, and I think Forza Horizon 5 is like this holiday. So probably September would probably when we would see Forza Horizon 4 if we're going to in Games with Gold this year. But in the case of Cyberpunk 2077, who the hell's going to buy that anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. Not too many people.
So if it's in Games with Gold, that would be a good deal for it, in my opinion. Now, like I've said off camera to Desert Nord, I'll say it on camera right now. Personally, I like and enjoy Cyberpunk 2077 on my Xbox One X. Professionally, here on the channel, don't waste your fucking time. As a retail employee, it's a waste of your fucking money to buy it.
Yeah.
That's where I stand. Professionally, it's a waste of your money. Privately, as a gamer, I enjoy the game. Just saying. But Portal 2, one of the better games of probably any generation, I think. Nord?
Yeah. It is.
You don't want to enlighten the viewers any further, considering that you've played all the way through it?
Which game are we talking about?
Portal 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, it's one of those games that you'll either be able to understand or you won't. It kind of tests your mental abilities in a way that very few other games do.
So Portal 2
Your
is...
ability to conceive of spatial dimensions simultaneously.
So Portal 2 is like Tom McDonald's lyrics in his songs.
Well, okay. But
in the way that that his lyrics and Portal 2 make you think.
well, okay, but
They force you to use your
time
brain, is
makes
what I'm
you
saying.
time makes you think in an intellectual thing. It's sort of a linear logic way. But Portal makes you think in spatial ways that you probably would never be made to think of it by any other game or really anything. And I
Oh,
think it probably changes a person when they play through that game.
that explains quite a bit about you then.
I just think it was a great game,
Yeah.
and
There's no disputing that for me.
yeah,
But Psychonauts from the original Xbox. Nord?
yeah, it's one of those games. Like I told you before, it's definitely a niche game. It's not.
I would call it one of those cult classic type of games.
Yeah, that would be fair.
So, with that being said, our predictions for PlayStation Plus Instant Game Collection for July of 2021 here. So, for PS4, we're predicting Far Cry New Dawn, considering that Far Cry 6 comes out in a couple of months after that.
Yep.
Anything to add about that before I get to the next PS4 game?
Well, nothing really, except for the fact that I hope it's not, you know, off the reservation, figuratively speaking.
I'm gonna.
I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't take the viewer and give them a middle finger and then expect them to like it, like some other games we've mentioned.
I haven't played all the way through it myself. The only one that I've played all the way through was Far Cry 5 at this point. But
Yeah.
Far Cry New Dawn, I do intend to finally get through before 6 comes out.
Yep.
Also for PS4, we're also thinking Dying Light 1 for PS4 because Dying Light 2 is slated to come out this year now. So.
Yep.
And Nord is now playing Elder Scrolls Online, I see.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
There was a 2 GB update.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
Not sure what that was about.
So, for PlayStation 5, considering that I don't give a shit about next gen because can't find one anywhere, but for those of you that do have one, we're not leaving you guys out at this point. For PS5, Sackboy: A Big Adventure and Riders Republic. Now, when I say Riders Republic, I know what some people in the comments are going to say. But Riders Republic doesn't come out till da-da-da month. It's not coming out in July. I'm talking about the pre-order being free for Plus members in the month of July is what I'm talking about. So you getting a free pre-order is what I'm predicting for PlayStation 5 owners. Now, if any of this is true about PlayStation, what would be great for the current gen gamers, i.e., PS4 and whatnot, would be all four of these things being available for PS4 owners as well. Just saying. If Sony wants to get on everyone's good side that owns a PS4, that would be a great thing right there. So with that being said, anything to add about PlayStation Plus before we get into the actual news topics? Other and we can finally get through our wild speculating about free games for July.
Yeah, I don't have anything about PlayStation Plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're just on Xbox, so you don't give a fuck anyway.
Well, it's not that I wouldn't care. It's just that I don't really have the scoop, we'll say.
There's no vested interest, is what I'm saying. So with that being said, Marvel Avengers bug leaks players' IP addresses because of patch 1.80. Yeah. So basically, what's happening is because of patch 1.80, when you're playing Marvel Avengers, God help you if you are, and if you are, you would be a unicorn, kind of like someone who has never played Skyrim at this point, I think. But
Yeah.
if you're streaming it, your IP address will appear on screen while you're playing the game on stream. So anyone watching your stream is going to see your IP address and therefore be able to dox you. Now, at last report, which was yesterday, when this report became known to me, at 8 o'clock this morning, Crystal Dynamics was supposed to be releasing a hotfix to solve this problem. Now, I don't know if it got fixed or not, but the fact that this was a problem is a major fucking catastrophic issue for Squeenix and Crystal Dynamics. Lord?
Yep. Yeah, that's like you're literally putting everyone who plays the game and streams it in danger.
Yeah.
Digital danger.
Absolutely.
Like, do they really think that no one cares what anyone's IP address is? Of course we do.
Well, you and I don't care what anyone's IP address is.
Oh no. Well, let me explain. If you don't care about people knowing your IP address,
no,
then I guess you might well not care about them hacking your system.
That's not what I meant.
know.
What I meant is, if you and I see someone's IP address, we're not going to care.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't matter to us because we're not doing jack shit.
Yeah, of course. But
people like you and me are going to go about our business like nothing, like we saw nothing.
But I mean, this is like like the digital equivalent of people's social security number being put up on the screen.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
You're exactly right. So, with that said, also, Madden 22 may go to Game Pass Day 1, according to an article from April 14th of this year, in 2021, from comicbook.com. So, first of all, EA Play on Console is a part of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription anyway. So even if Madden doesn't go to Game Pass Day 1, it's going to be there at some point.
Yeah.
That much is guaranteed. But do we think that Madden 22 is actually going to be in Game Pass Day 1, Nord?
Probably not.
I think it's a 50-50 shot at this point, but that's just my personal thinking.
Yeah, I don't know if they would do that.
Because I do know that it would be a good move by Microsoft to try to get more eyes to Game Pass, like casual gamers, which is exactly who primarily, outside of myself, to a limited degree, plays Madden, even though I'm not a casual gamer.
It'd be a really fan-friendly thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And secondly, if you subscribe to Game Pass, that means you ain't throwing money directly at EA at that point. You're throwing to Microsoft, and they're throwing it to EA. At that point, which outside of if Madden 22 isn't in Game Pass, I'm not touching it at launch. If it's in Game Pass at Day 1, I'll play it Day 1 then. It's just that simple. Nord?
Yeah, even if it is, I might not even touch it Day 1.
We'll see though.
Probably wouldn't, because I'll be busy with other things.
Also on the EA side of things, will Battlefield 2042 fail to live up to sales because it has no single player campaign? Nord?
Yeah, I can see why that would be a problem for a lot of people. So
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
For the best example of this was Call of Duty Black Ops 4. It launched with no campaign, and at the time I was like, still charging $60 for half the game? This feels like a complete fucking ripoff. And the same thing stands for Battlefield 2042, in my personal opinion, as well as as well as the retailer and me, considering I work for a major retailer for
Yep.
for my actual job. So from a retailer standpoint, this feels like a complete ripoff of all customers. Half the game for the same price, because it's going to be $60 as far as I know. And from a professional level here on YouTube, it's a fucking ripoff. Personally,
Yep.
personally for me, like I said earlier, it's a fucking ripoff. This is one of only a few occasions where all three sides to me, Drew, agree with each other. For example, Cyberpunk 2077 is a case where certain sides of me disagree with each other. The retailer in me considers Cyberpunk to be a ripoff and a waste of your money because it's an incomplete game that barely functions most of the time. From a YouTuber standpoint, it's a ripoff. It's not worth your time or money. Personally, from actually playing it as a gamer, I actually like it. Take that for what's worth, guys. So, with that being said, to answer the question, do Desert Nord and I think the Battlefield 2042 will fail without a campaign? In my opinion, maybe. Because I do know there's a lot of people that only play multiplayer games, and there's only a certain number that play just campaign, or prefer single player games, and then there are people who play both. On which side of those fences do you fall, Nord?
Well, I'd probably play both.
Yeah. I generally prefer the campaign, but if I have someone to play it with, I probably would play a multiplayer game, like with Desert Nord, for example. But it is what it is. On a sad note for gamers, Monster Hunter World and Soul Calibur 6 are leaving console on June 30th, so in mere days. At the time of recording, this is the 23rd, so 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So a week from today then, right?
Yep.
So a week from today. So and this was just brought to my attention by Desert Nord right before we started recording this. So seeing as how you know what's going on here, I'll let you take this story as the head of it.
Yeah, as far as apparently it's been long enough on Game Pass to where the games are no longer popular enough to justify their presence.
So you're saying that they're leaving Game Pass and not and not functioning on the console, right? To be clear.
Well, yeah, what it is that they're leaving Game Pass, and in order for you to keep playing them, you have to buy them.
Well, okay, that actually sounds better than what I thought you were saying to begin with.
Well, I would imagine it's because the popularity has waned of probably both of them.
It is what it is. Now, I have...
Especially on Assassin's Creed 6's end.
Anyway, I currently have Monster Hunter World and its expansion physically, and I personally don't give a shit about Soul Calibur, and I never really have.
Yeah. Well, I used to care about it a lot. It was one of my favorite games.
But from what I've been hearing, number 6 for Soul Calibur was a cash grab.
Yep.
So
I can't disagree with that assessment. It definitely was.
Yeah. So, to close out the last couple topics, Sony has a rumored state of play coming in July. I don't have any, there's no confirmation of that. That's just rumor only. Nord?
Yeah, it's just rumor. Yeah, I can't find anything solid.
Although I can say this, Sony needs to do something because, as always, they don't give a fuck about E3, which means E3 is not what it used to be. And also, on that note, EA wasn't there, but we actually apparently have confirmation of of uh, of an EA Play event at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, noon Central, on July 22nd, that being a Thursday.
Yep.
So that's less than a month. So it's like 29 days from today, give or take,
Yep.
because it's the 23rd now. So just barely less than a month from today then for the EA Play event. So with that being said, any thoughts on what we might see for Sony's State of Play once they decide to do one? If they decide to do one
Oh,
anytime
I have
soon?
no idea what they have in mind, but it should be big.
If
In all fairness, it should be
if they
something big.
what would constitute as big for me for Sony would be like a release date for God of War and or Horizon Forbidden West for both PS5 and PS4 because we know both games are going to be on both generations. What about for EA Play for July 22nd? They they'll have to show more Madden, obviously. They'll
Yeah.
obviously do something cringy with FIFA again.
Yeah.
And then there's the rumor of Dead Space making a comeback. Despite the fact
Sure.
despite
They
the
appear to
fact
be
that
doing
they
something big with Dead Space.
despite the fact that they killed the fucking studio that made Dead Space in the first place.
Uh huh.
Which means who in the hell is making Dead Space then?
Yeah, you do have to wonder.
Yeah. And be concerned, in my opinion, because it is EA after all. So, with that being said, that's all I had written down for today. Do you have any last minute topics?
Nothing gaming related.
All right. So, with that being said, what do you have coming up for anything you're doing? Playing a game or content for your channel or just whatever?
Well, content for my channel usually comes whenever
Something
it
comes to
feels
mind.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Mm,
way the
In,
nature of memes are.
in terms of playing, I can see you're playing Elder Scrolls Online. That's what you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
As for
I'm going to be doing it until I run out of things to do on the game, which will be a while.
yeah, well, especially with Blackwood out now too.
Sure, well,
Well,
see, I'm not even privy to that yet.
well,
Neither are you.
well, when my copy comes, I will be, and
Yeah.
I'll be playing it on stream. I'm still waiting for that to come yet.
I'll
But
probably spring for it. I'm just going to do it
yeah.
reluctantly.
But beyond that, the next time that I intend to stream at this point until Blackwood comes is the Outer Worlds because I now have every expansion for that, and I intend to actually properly play through that on stream now for you guys to check out over on Twitch.
That's going to take you a while. That's a big game.
Yeah, it is. Which is why I'm going to try to devote my time. If you see me on camera playing a game, it's going to be the Outer Worlds for the foreseeable future at this point. Unless like something comes out, then I'll take a brief break to play that new thing, and then I'll go back to the Outer Worlds until I'm done with it. At that point.
Yeah, I fully intend, as far as I'm concerned, to get as many of the achievements as possible on Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. Otherwise.
North of 100, hopefully.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't have much else going on other than like randomly like do reactions on the channel to Tom McDonald's music. And other random stuff like that. And if anything major that comes along, news related, gaming wise, there's the Drudak Games news. episodes that I do randomly as well. So, for example, if at any point retailers start selling consoles to people that walk in the store, you'll be hearing from me on the Drew Games News right here on this channel. Speaking of channels, please go check out Drew Gaming for my port overs from Twitch and also for me playing PlayStation games over there live as well. Like Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm going to be getting back into on the YouTube channel of Drew Gaming at some point. Hopefully, the next time I have a day off from work, let's see. After today, my next day off is actually next Wednesday, so I won't be doing anything till next Wednesday that I know of at this point, unless I have the energy for after work someday next week. Which I generally will be getting off work next week at about 8 o'clock in the morning, so there is a fair chance to just randomly see me live playing something. With that being said, everyone, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. On your way out, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Go subscribe to Drew Gaming as well. Go follow me over on Twitch for Drew Games over there for my Xbox playing stuff when I do it live, even though it gets ported over to Drew Gaming on YouTube anyway. And also follow me over on Twitter so you know when I am going live, because I post my live streams on my Twitter and the Facebook page of Phoenix Reviews. I post a lot of this stuff over there as well. Please go follow Desert Nord on his YouTube channel for memes like the one that I reacted to of him making a meme about me. And you can follow him on Twitter as Rob Nyers, right?
Yep.
As well. With that being said, everyone, we will see you guys next Wednesday for this again. Hopefully we'll have stuff to talk about with you guys, or with each other for you guys to listen next week. And with that said, we are out. Have a great rest of your day. Later, guys.
Yep, later, guys.